We've traveled worldwide.
Guarantee you can't have Titus O'Neil promote anything without using the worldwide phrase at least once. Man, I miss Titus Worldwide.
Heights, a moment for the...
Whoa, something went wrong with me. I suddenly had this urgent feeling to throw in a million sins just for referencing the 2018 edition of Crown Jewel and the main event that took place. Good thing I snapped out of it before I made a mistake to this year's edition. No disrespect to Bray Wyatt, glad he's back and all, but I feel bad for him, because they flew him to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, all just to say more or less the same things he's been saying the last few weeks on SmackDown, complete with Uncle Howdy interrupting but adding no pieces to the puzzle. You'd think for an overseas pay-per-view event, WWE would do more than just the same things, right? Holy shit, Michael Cole deserves praise for his dedication. He flew to Saudi Arabia for the press conference, flew back to St. Louis for SmackDown, then flew back to Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel. Why is this a sin? Because I tweeted that and a bunch of idiots somehow didn't see the obvious sarcasm. Makes me feel bad for the sanity of wrestling fans. Judging by the struggle on his face, Bobby Lashley must be dealing with constipation prior to entering the stadium for this event. Poor guy. There's a security guard standing right there keeping the fans in check, but I can't help but think he's standing ominously to try and spook Bobby Lashley, who's thankfully looking the other way. Sorry, ever since the Bray Wyatt stuff went down, I can't look at anything the same without thinking something's involved. Wait, what? Aw, man, I was looking forward to the match. Why does WWE always cut away with promo packages in the middle of entrances? Although I do have a legitimate question. What is Brock Lesnar's deal here? I presume it's because his previous match with Bobby Lashley didn't go well, but he never once confirms this. For all we know, Brock was just bored one day and wanted to kick someone's ass, and that someone just so happened to be Bobby Lashley.
Brock Lesnar and Lashley...
Pre-match assault.
Bobby Lashley said, I need to prove to them...
Starting with a bunch of spears. This is looking more and more like a Goldberg match than it is anything else. I guess since Goldberg is not here tonight, WWE had to make some sort of reference since that seems to be a theme of these events in Saudi Arabia. No one cares what's trending.
Neutralize Brock Lesnar.
This feels awkward, knowing WWE hardly does the referee drops the arm 3 times to call the submission tactic like they're supposed to. In any other match, they drop the arm once and automatically assume the wrestler is unconscious.
And now Brock is down.
Creative move on the part of Brock Lesnar to push himself back like that, but because of his size, he couldn't fall back at the perfect position to pin Bobby Lashley. Also, I'd be totally cool with this being the ending to the match if Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley hadn't previously fought at the Royal Rumble, which also ended in unfortunate circumstances. Also, throughout this pinfall, Bobby Lashley's shoulders are clearly off the canvas, yet the referee ignores it and continues to count anyway, which makes this thing even worse.
And Bobby Lashley.
This match had both a pre-match assault and now a post-match assault. They really want me to say my phrases early on. I'm predicting Hulu is somewhere around the corner next.
For as long...
You just gotta love the subtle hints that Bray Wyatt hasn't forgotten at the time Alexa Bliss betrayed The Fiend back at WrestleMania 37, and she is definitely a target of some sorts. No, I'm just saying, Asuka has the better theme song for the team to enter together. Alexa Bliss's new theme may be catchy, but Asuka's fits better. Or maybe debut a team theme?
Two-time tag team.
Come something of a...
As if seeing one giant CGI replica of the Women's Tag Team Championship wasn't good enough, WWE decides to show a second replica, much closer and more in our faces.
Alexa, of course, SmackDown Women's Champion, first to win that title.
Michael Cole has completely forgotten about the fact that it was Becky Lynch who first won the SmackDown Women's Championship, not Alexa Bliss.
In NXT, all 4 were absolute superstars.
No offense, but Alexa Bliss was anything but a superstar down in NXT. When she arrived on SmackDown in 2016, that's when she really became a superstar. It hasn't even been 15 minutes and WWE are showing Crown Jewel being the #1 trend once again. And also, why isn't it at least showing what's trending #1 in Saudi Arabia, since that's where we are tonight?
We're defending the tag team titles tonight.
Dakota Kai experienced Alexa Bliss countering her with a pin like that, chose to do it herself, and failed miserably. Little bit of a rough start to Crown Jewel here, but thankfully nowhere near as bad as the 2018 edition. What the fuck was that noise? Did something fall on the stage or something? Or did the pyrotechnician shoot some fireworks because he wanted to be random?
These two did not get along at all in Japan.
Poor timing on the commentary. Wade Barrett comments how Io Sky and Asuka never got along in Japan right after Michael Cole talked about the successful tag team they had formed there.
And Asuka, oh, Bulldog!
That was some good teamwork from Asuka and Alexa Bliss with that Bulldog right into the legs. That's new.
And Asuka, and Io Sky.
Asuka was watching Io Sky even before the latter could springboard to the top rope, and all she said was, "What?" instead of maybe leaping off the top rope to get away from Io.
Really look at concern on Bliss's face.
Asuka's weird-looking dance move as she struggles to reach Alexa Bliss to tag her in. Maybe the beat of the fans clapping was simply too catchy.
Corner. Meteora.
That looked less like a Meteora and more of a Lou Thesz press if you ask me, Michael. Meaty Thesz press?
Classic Alexa Bliss there.
Well, that was classic Alexa Bliss. Guess she hasn't reached vintage level yet, but normally she does a backflip knee drop after the first knee drop. Apparently, Io Sky trying to connect what looks like Triple H's pedigree causes the lights in the stadium to suddenly go out. Was this a Bray Wyatt thing, The Undertaker making a cameo, or a power outage?
Io Sky twisted.
Even if Io Sky did not distract Alexa Bliss, Dakota Kai likely would have raised their knees anyway, given Alexa took the same amount of time she usually does to hit Twisted Bliss. Also, even if the above sin was incorrect, the way Alexa landed, she would have landed on Dakota's legs anyway. Doesn't seem to have good coordination in this moment. Nikki Cross is so crazy that she traveled all the way across the world just to hit a single move on Alexa Bliss and run away. Also, victory due to outside interference is always a sin. Also, this just makes Alexa Bliss and Asuka's title win 5 days prior a major waste of time. Then again, the Women's Tag Team Championship itself has been a big waste of time ever since it was created in 2019 due to the lack of a legitimate division, so I guess it fits in this scenario. Jake Paul walks out of the vehicle with his boxing championship in the hopes that the fans watching will give a shit about it. Might as well slap the Hulu logo on that title because who gives a shit about it?
Hours away from your matchup.
So why is Logan Paul late, not dressed to compete, and not preparing himself? He better not be taking Roman Reigns lightly here because that could be his downfall. Come on, giant CGI bird, move out of the way. I'm trying to see what match is coming up next on the card. Why can't they just go back to showing the moving graphics on the full screen again? The steel cage match between Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre is up next, yet the crew forgot to lower the cage prior to the entrances. It's weird that they wait for the wrestlers in this match, but never in the other cage matches that ever existed. The more I watch this entrance, the more I'm starting to believe that this is actually Scarlett's entrance and Karrion Kross is actually the manager in this case. Karrion, you may want to speed up because you're so far away from Scarlett. Either that or Scarlett should slow down a little so that she isn't too far ahead. The words on the screen do not match what is being said in the music. Scarlett is trying to prepare Karrion Kross for the cage match. Meanwhile, Karrion is too busy being mesmerized by the drones putting up the shape of his hourglass. I'm impressed by them too, but stay focused, dude. I just want to say major props to Drew McIntyre in choosing to travel to Saudi Arabia, going through promotions, and competing in the steel cage match with Karrion Kross while suffering a bad case of the flu. He even insisted on competing when WWE offered an alternate option.
Official outside the ring.
What are you, The Undertaker closing the door to Hell in a Cell?
Down and went for one of the...
Karrion Kross is addicted to Drew's McIntyres. I bet Drew's now thinking, maybe I should have taken off the trip here to rest my illness.
And you're not a part of it anymore, Drew.
We're only 3 minutes into the match and Karrion Kross is already monologuing. I get that Drew is sick, but that doesn't mean he isn't dangerous, you know. Nearly 20 seconds of watching Drew lying on the ground while Scarlett watches on in the background.
The SmackDown World Cup coming up soon.
Just make sure that Shane McMahon isn't around to try and steal that World Cup tournament like he did 4 years ago at this very event.
He's a man capable.
Scarlett continuously shouts at Drew McIntyre that he can't win, as if she's expecting Drew to say, understandable, have a nice day, and let Karrion Kross win the match. Karrion looks to continue the offense, but then hesitated when he saw Drew in this position. May have gotten slightly aroused potentially, who knows. I wouldn't be distracted by Scarlett if I were Drew, knowing full well rocking the cage wall is all she can do. Then again, I'm also not surprised because Drew once got distracted at WrestleMania by MVP who did nothing but yell at him.
I told you.
Just finish him off already! I don't give a shit how many times you told him with this carnage, just do it! Meanwhile, on this far side of the arena. Mason Drew McIntyre is one thing, but I don't see why Scarlett would do the same to the referee since she can legally do whatever she wants and the referee can't do shit to stop her.
A human being.
Congratulations, Scarlett. You locked the door and have the key in your possession. How the hell did she not realize Drew McIntyre can easily climb out of the cage instead, which she ends up doing?
Roman, do you have a response to Logan Paul's?
Byron Saxton actually believes that Roman Reigns is going to willingly be interviewed mere hours before his title match. Also, I'm guessing that Roman Reigns walks away from Byron Saxton because he literally asked the same questions that have already been answered. Guarantee Roman would stay if Byron asked him what he had for breakfast that morning.
When Nikki came.
Man, Paul Heyman is absolutely fucking awesome no matter what era he's in. Damian Priest and his awesome tribute to the late Scott Hall with that walk to the ring. I love the tributes.
Paying homage to the late Beth Phoenix.
Guarantee thousands of fans worldwide suddenly jumped to social media in fear that Beth Phoenix actually died since they weren't paying attention to the screen and looking on their phones.
And then young men and women.
And then Damian Priest suddenly lost his balance, flipped over the top rope like Matt Hardy, and whacked Dominic Mysterio in the head on the way down.
Brought back Doc and Machine Gun.
Technically, AJ Styles brought back Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, not their ring names from other promotions.
Of the Bullet Club.
I'm just saying, it's not that big of a deal. Triple H is the one in charge. You think he wouldn't mention the existence of other companies?
Full Contact MMA.
Carl Anderson tags in Luke Gallows, then AJ Styles chooses to troll Carl by switching to the side of the apron that Carl was going to exit.
Oh, nice. Cheap shot.
Wait, that was not a cheap shot at all. Damian Priest hit Luke Gallows in the face when Luke was watching him. It's Luke's own fault that he didn't duck out of the way or try to counter.
Okay,
Of course, who isn't? However,
Guys, enough acting like a married couple arguing non-stop. We got a 6-man tag team match in progress, and things are heating up.
least experienced.
I thought he was the greatest luchador ever.
Nice of Michael Cole to point out Wade Barrett's hypocrisy, but I'm still too annoyed to care. Unless this ends with Michael being on the receiving end of a bullhammer elbow.
Anderson.
Damian Priest was a little too far away from Carl Anderson with that jumping elbow. He's lucky to even graze the edge of the elbow against the edge of Carl. Carl Anderson is really out of it, isn't he? Looking for a tag, but he's facing the other way. May want to open your eyes and look behind you. Finn Balor looked to attack Luke Gallows and briefly became a WWE 2K video game glitch. That was weird.
Dominic Priest comes in to save Dominic.
Indeed, Dominic Priest came in to save Dominic Mysterio from Dominic Gallows and Dominic Anderson. Hope Dominic Balor can arrive to finish out the DC.
Looking for 1816.
You're about 100 years off, Michael. Nothing of importance happened to Ireland in 1816. At least I don't think so. Dominic leaped too early from Luke Gallows' spinebuster. It was a good thing that Luke improvised and still connected the move, but I gotta place the sin on Dominic.
Somebody's gotta kick her ass!
You just gotta love Michael Cole and his commentary, because I sure as hell do. Looking forward to his reaction to Rhea Ripley actually getting her ass kicked. Welcome back to the WWE, Braun Strowman. However, this build-up to his match with Omos was just there. That's it.
That's the small guy, Omos.
Wade Barrett hasn't realized that Omos is the bigger wrestler in this tale of the tape, even despite the bigger numbers. Omos is probably taking his time to the ring because he can't see shit with the hood covering his eyes.
This man has dominated WWE.
I'm sorry, but I can't hear that with a straight face. Omos has not dominated the entire WWE since his arrival, otherwise he would have faced and defeated Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship by this point.
A former WWE champion.
What the fuck did Braun Strowman ever win the WWE Championship, Wade? Another title win in Appleton? Or was that in the Control Your Narrative days? The first minute and a half of this 7-minute match is literally nothing but nothing. We figured out that these two men are larger than life just from the build-up alone. Now we want to see them fight. Omos repeats, "You hear that," almost as much as I repeatedly whack my face on the desk. Ow, I felt that. Ow, I felt that. Ow, I felt that.
I own this. I own this.
Omos wasting time taunting the crowd and repeating literally anything he says when he should be repeatedly beating down Braun Strowman. Braun may be the smaller wrestler here, but he's still the monster of all monsters. Even in Saudi Arabia, fans give that disrespectful "you can't wrestle" chant. There are unlimited amount of ways to wrestle, folks. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not wrestling.
This has been a laugher.
Well, you're not wrong, Michael. Omos slams Braun Strowman, pins him, failed to get the win, so now's the time to start taunting again. My god, please do something else, even if it's dancing like Shanky. Well, that was easy. Omos dominated practically the entire match and suffered little to no damage, but a single running power slam was enough to finish him off. I'm just saying, how much longer until these so-called unified titles are actually going to follow unification tradition? You know, with a single title instead of defending 2 titles for the price of 1? Seriously? We're in Saudi Arabia, which goes wild with pyrotechnics, yet WWE is still resorting to the non-pyro for the brawling brutes. The fans are chanting, "We want Sammy," which I do too, but you're probably going to have to talk to your government about that one. Sorry, folks. The Usos give up after one single slam and a roll-up, and the match just started too. Damn, that is honestly embarrassing, especially when they never did that throughout their 1.5-year title reign. Here are 5 sins. Also, after their last visit to Saudi Arabia ended up just being them brawling with the Viking Raiders, wouldn't the Usos want to compete this time since their match didn't get canceled?
Non-displaced fracture to the elbow.
Ridge Holland is an idiot by getting into the ring when Butch got slammed down 1 time. You're just making it worse for your partner, dumbass.
He is unheard of in this.
I just love the Usi term given by Sami Zayn. It just works and even made the entire Bloodline break character.
Fans in rehab.
Riyadh? The city is called Riyadh. The H is on the very end of the word and it's silent too. At least I'm sure it is. After all, people get frustrated at me every time I say a cool whip.
And here's Ridge.
Jimmy Uso be like, "Nope, good luck, Jay, YOLO," and ran so that Jay Uso could take all the damage from Ridge Holland.
He did the shoulder, break his elbow.
Even with the camera being obstructed by Jimmy's back, it was clearly obvious that Butch stomped on his fingers, not his elbow. The triangle submission is devastating enough, but to see Butch trying to tear Jimmy Uso's fingers at the same time increases the brutality, and I fucking love it. Either Jimmy Uso has given up on this match entirely, or he's playing a game of hide-and-seek with John Cena. That one-and-done finisher was executed perfectly. The Usos are proven to be more of a champion than the tribal chief himself because they're getting the jobs done on their own. Bayley is probably disappointed knowing she is likely going to lose once again to Bianca Belair and lose the majority of her credibility as a heel after tonight. I'd be pissed off too, but at least try to hide it and show your arrogance to the audience. Quite a number of these drones spelling out damage control are not in a good position since the letters are veering off to the sides.
I will be the last.
You know, one of these days I'm actually expecting the Raw Women's Championship to actually slip off Bianca Belair's waist because she didn't tighten it enough the way it bounces in her entrance stance. I'm actually having a hard time trying to figure out what the drones are trying to show us in the sky because the lighting is too dim.
Is a last.
You already announced that prior to Bayley beginning her entrance less than 5 minutes ago, Mike.
And Bayley.
Not that I think Bayley is stupid, but is Bayley seriously stupid? She just threw Bianca Belair into the corner one time and figured this was enough to put her down for the count of 10? The match started like 10 seconds ago.
The moment.
And the ending of the.
We got some chairs, tables, and what looks like a chain. Ah, yes, kendo sticks. Perfect weapon.
How about the athleticism of.
Honestly, Bayley could have still hit Bianca Belair with a kendo stick by swinging to her side, but even after she saw Bianca escape through the ropes, Bayley still aimed for the non-existent target.
Advantage that Bianca has.
Not gonna lie, the way Wade Barrett refers to Bianca's name throughout the match is a little irritating. I don't know if it's the accent because I've heard many British people say Bianca the way we all do. Take that floor outside the ring. Now I'm gonna pin you and become the new WWE Ring Mat Champion.
Second rope.
Why didn't Bayley just do a fake out moment by pretending she was going to run to Bianca, back up so Bianca could land from her moonsault, and then whack her in the back with a chair? Bayley knows Bianca so well and still doesn't know what move she always does? How?
Last month in a ladder match.
I'm starting to think Bayley doesn't know what she's doing at all. First all the sins I placed for her, and now this one where she was watching Bianca well before Bianca could ever leap over the top rope for the cross body. It's not exactly making Bianca Belair look good just by making yourself look stupid.
In a matchup like this, historically.
And if any of the other previous sins I placed wasn't bad enough, now we got Bayley having no clue on how to properly set up a table. I seriously hope this picks up for the better because the first 6 minutes are embarrassing. And that's why there should really be a metal gate on the ramp to the ring to prevent moments like this. Bayley managed to do some damage to Bianca Belair with that gate, but also opened the door for fans to freely walk in. Invasion leading into Survivor Series. Also, the point of the gates is to keep the fans out from the ringside area. Why are there doors attached to them at all?
Trap Bianca.
Yeah, like this is going to trap Bianca Belair and prevent her from getting back up. For one thing, the ladder is not even on the stairs at all. And for the other, Bianca could just escape underneath the ring and appear on the other side. Bayley really needs to rethink her strategy here because none of this is working to her favor whatsoever.
Steps up. Gets
Whatever the hell that was supposed to be.
Running Belair.
Bayley has Bianca Belair trapped inside an equipment case and doesn't once think that she should either lock the door, sit on it, or flip it upside down so Bianca can't get out. Bayley has literally every chance to win this last woman standing match and never capitalizes, which further damages her momentum.
Bayley's driving a damn golf cart.
The real question is, why is there even a golf cart in this stadium anyway? It's a wrestling event. Even if Bianca Belair didn't move out of the way, Bayley slowed down and stopped the cart completely before it would have reached her. Bayley absolutely sucks tonight.
That was DWI. Driving while insane.
Wah, wah.
On the top of Omos.
Maybe Bianca should have parked the golf cart a little further back so that Bayley could actually go through the table. This makes the actual table crash seconds later look like an apology. The KOD onto the chair was brutal, I won't lie. This was one of the only situations where Bianca Belair actually looked great when Bayley was not being stupid. Shame it literally took the entire damn match for that to happen. Easily escapable ladder trap is easily escapable, but because Bayley is stupid and doesn't realize what she's doing in the match, this actually works. I love Bray Wyatt and his new entrance theme, however it takes over 2 minutes for him to actually appear on the stage from the moment the lights go out.
No one to love me.
Much as this promo didn't do much for Bray Wyatt's arc since it was just a repeat of the way things go on SmackDown, I love the fans countering his claims that no one loves him by chanting "We love you."
So why wait?
I'm with Uncle Howdy on this one. Why wait? Let's get to it. Let's show some big reveal halfway across the world on a pay-per-view event instead of not doing that. Logan Paul had Roman Reigns be a guest on his podcast one time, challenged him to a title match, and immediately got it. I never knew challenging for titles is that easy. Hey, Roman Reigns, I challenge you to an undisputed WWE Universal Championship match at the Royal Rumble in the Alamo Dome. You may be in God mode, but I am also a god, the god of sins. Got the balls to face me? You can't deny that Logan Paul had an epic entrance for his match with Roman Reigns. Holy shit, this is awesome to see. He even live streamed it on his social media too. Roman Reigns having to rearrange the WWE Championship so that it wouldn't be facing upside down when he lifts it in the air takes longer than the pose itself. Almost.
Roman Reigns says, "You're not going to push me around."
Why would Roman Reigns be shocked that Logan Paul shoved him away? He may be an outsider, but Logan knows what he's doing here.
This is what Logan can't do. He can't.
I get that Logan Paul is a major attraction here, but it's just awkward to see Roman Reigns taking a breather from a YouTuber.
First one of the matchup on.
Logan's shoulders were never down, yet the referee chose to count anyway just to freak him out.
Hit the one lucky shot. Paul, nice hip toss.
Pretty awesome hip toss from Logan Paul after that leapfrog. Good to see how well he improves with each match he has. Performing well against The Miz is one thing, but against Roman Reigns is another ballgame. Paul Heyman be like, this smells so good right now. I hope this match lasts a long time so that I can sniff this more.
In the mind of Roman Reigns. Oh!
That one moment when Logan Paul connects a buckshot lariat equal to or practically above Hangman Adam Page. Never thought I'd ever say that, but the timing of the connection was more than perfect. CM Punk would definitely be jealous though.
Oh, and Hangman Reigns.
Is Paul Heyman mocking Roman Reigns, or did Logan Paul perform some voodoo magic on him so that he can feel every bit of damage that Roman does?
Leaps off the top rope again.
Well, holy shit, that was freaking awesome to see Roman Reigns connect that punch with perfect timing when Logan Paul went sailing in the air. Loving this match already.
Ain't no more YouTubers coming over. Coming, baby.
What I'll honestly remove a sin for is Logan Paul actually responding to Roman's claims that YouTubers like KSI and Mr. Beast are not coming to WWE by saying, "Not true, we're coming, baby." Defiant even while getting choked out.
About Wade, you know that. Oh, Superman punch!
Super right infringement.
Sweet chin music.
Judging by the way Logan was preparing to connect Sweet Chin music, I don't think he properly learned the technique well. Logan's shoulder is again off the canvas even before the referee starts counting, yet the referee ignores it. That's the second time tonight.
He's down, he's not.
Paul Heyman is starting to turn into himself from 20 years ago when Brock Lesnar was getting destroyed by The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. Logan Paul fucking belongs in the WWE, and you are in denial if you say otherwise. Adding in a video to go along with this frog splash through the announce table just made this even more epic. Here are 20 cents off. He deserves all the praise.
So much for Logan's entourage.
I'm sorry, but I really don't have many fucks to give about Logan's entourage from his impulsive podcast to getting their asses kicked.
And another Superman kick.
Sorry, but I think we'd only refer to that kick as a Superman kick if it was Roman Reigns himself delivering it. Jake Paul. Sorry, but you're still in sin territory.
Oh, Jimmy knocked out.
Well, so much for all that. Jake Paul probably should have practiced pulling back your punches in a pro wrestling situation because those were just terrible shots to the Usos. I won't lie, we all knew that Roman Reigns was going to inevitably win the match, but for a brief moment I actually believed Logan Paul had him beaten, that anything could happen. Well played. I can't be the only one who thought Solo Sikoa getting his own entrance for this one appearance was actually badass, right? The look on the face of Roman Reigns after he won the match says it all, tells the perfect story. He didn't simply beat Logan Paul, he survived him. I'd honestly go as far as to say Logan was closer to defeating Roman Reigns than Drew McIntyre was at Clash of the Castle. Another fantastic Crown Jewel event.